Good morning, stars. It's your boy Z, aka the Lava Tyrant, and welcome back to my channel. Pokemon as a franchise is officially 30 years old, which means Pokemon is now a middle-aged man. To celebrate the anniversary, they held the annual Pokemon Day Presents, where we were given our very first look at Generation 10, Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves. And my god, is it gorgeous. Water has never looked this good in a Pokemon game. Solid 7.8 out of 10. Well, with the reveal of course came our very first look at the brand new starters, Grass Angry Bird, Toby Fox, and Littlest Pet Shop. And these are probably the most solid designs I have seen for a starter trio probably since... Actually, scratch that, it is the most solid. And, well, you know what that means. It's that time of the generation again, when Pokemon drop such tantalizing designs that you just can't help but make the evolutions for them. And, well, given the whispers of this region being one based on Indonesia, and being a South Asian myself, my hype could not be held any longer. So that is exactly what I'm doing today, showcasing my own interpretations of the Generation 10 starter evolutions. Now, I know I'm quite late for this one. I was actually on vacation in Malaysia, by which I of course mean I was being tortured by my illness-induced headache. You guys can probably still hear the cold in my voice. But now that that pain is finally mostly gone, I cannot wait to show you guys what I cooked up like almost if not a full week ago. So drop a like, hit subscribe, and let's jump in. We shall of course begin with Browt, the starter that has been collectively accepted by the community as an honorary Angry Bird. The agenda must be upheld. And well, one thing I like about these starters is how generally basic they are, leaving huge room for exploration in their evolutions. And so for Browt's middle stage, I give you Meanstock. And yes, for this line, I am basing my designs off of the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, and fusing it with the Kakapo, who themselves are in fact considered giant parrots, just like the giant in the Beanstalk story. The middle stage though takes a tad from Jack himself, and so here is Meanstock, the Mean Bean Pokemon. Meanstock have grown an axe-like leafy brow upon evolution. It is able to use this leafy blade to strike down tough and thick tree trunks. However, it is often clumsy with its attacks. As you can see, and as the dex itself outlines, Meanstock gets a powerful axe-like extension on its left brow, meant to reference the end of the Beanstalk story, where Jack of course chops down the magic Beanstalk. Another thing I wanted to try is limiting the usage of outright green, maintaining the slightly more yellow lenient color, referencing of course the golden goose capable of laying golden eggs, which is also from the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. And yes, what kind of agenda maintainer would I be if I didn't make the shiny red, to reference red, not to be confused with red. At level 36, Meanstock evolves into Fee-Fi Floem. God, I am so proud of that name. Now becoming the giant itself and implementing aspects of the Beanstalk into the design, Browt has reached its final stage, and finally become the biggest bird. The Beanstalk inspiration is hammered in by the vine growing on its body, also a second axe brow to truly make it an angry bird, and all around a fitting evolution. In Maori culture, kakapo feathers were also used when making cloaks, and so I also referenced that with the feathered extensions near its neck. Regardless, I present to you Fee-Fi Floem, the bean giant Pokemon. Fee-Fi Floem are extremely territorial birds that roam the ground. Their sharpened leafy attacks are powerful and precise. Within their communities, bigger feather cloaks hold higher ranks. Fee-Fi Floem now gains its secondary type of ground to mainly reference the ground from which the magic Beanstalk grew, and also kakapos being notoriously ground-based parrots. I can confirm its shiny remains the exact same, really bringing out that inner Terrance. What I can't confirm is whether it will try shagging wildlife photographers. But with that said, let's move on to the best boy. Some might even say the bestest of boys. That of course being Pombon. If you caught my live reactions to the presents, which I'm sorry I couldn't edit into VOD, I was sick and the moment has passed, blame my cold. You know I love Pombon enough for it to officially dethrone Fuecoco as my #1 fire starter, and that says a lot coming from the Lava Tyrant. Rest assured, I wanted this guy to be perfect, the bestest boy throughout, and that includes staying on all fours. I had the goal of making it a Fire Fairy type because it's the one I hope Pombon turns into, and as for the inspirations, I'll leave that reveal till the final evolution. Before we get there though, here is Pomainu, the valiant Pokemon. Pomainu are extremely loyal to its friends. It is known to use the heat generated from its lungs to warm others that need it in trying times. Pomainu's shiny takes its colors from the Akita dogs, which is the direction I'm going for with my interpretation, as both Pomeranians and Akitas are Spitzes, and it seems like a very Pokemon thing to go in a direction like that. The reason behind my choice though is because I wanted to inspire this concept of a very specific Akita, that being Hachiko, which is further established in the final evolution. Yes, you heard that right, my core inspiration for Pombon's line is Hachiko, the bestest of boys in the history of mankind. His story will never not make me tear up, and I have no doubt that it's a Pokemon Game Freak has been yearning to make. Of course, it's not just Hachiko. I took further inspiration from Komainu statues, and also Balinese lava statues, which seem to be a thing, but I'm not Balinese, so feel free to nuke me in the comments if I'm spreading misinformation. Regardless though, altogether it helps bring together a Pokemon that is pretty much a symbol of both loyalty and guardianship, alongside one that symbolizes comfort, which is what I think they might be going for with the Bon part of Pombon, clearly being a reference to bonfires. So, here is Lavaliant, the Loyal Guard Pokemon. Lavaliants are commonly seen as powerful guardians due to their protective nature. They are extremely reliable partner Pokemon. The warmth that radiates off of their entire body is one which they eagerly provide to all around them. The shiny continues to stay the same as that of Pomainu, which is pretty consistent of course. Then again, I feel like Pokemon would probably come up with a better shiny, maybe perhaps one based on the Komainu statues and the Hachiko statue. Dang, I should have thought of that. Well, regardless, I am quite proud of my idea for this one, and I hope you guys like these two too. And so if you did, and before we get to gecqua, why not show this video some love by liking and subscribing. I don't like bringing up analytics because we firmly left that meta in 2021, but even still, I gotta say, there are a bunch of y'all who watch but aren't subbed, so get on it. I may not be consistent with my schedule, but I am with my quality. I hope. Also make sure to join the Morningstars Discord, link in the description. I'm quite active there and share early sneak peeks there too. Also, to my CRKS Pokemon fans, more is on the way, so stay tuned. And now, let's finally get to gecqua's middle stage evolution. For gecqua, I went with a very Indian route, bringing in various superstitious and mythical or folk aspects of my culture regarding lizards into the mix. And yes, fun fact, I am from India. I did like the idea of implementing something regarding yoga, and given there is in fact a lizard pose in yoga, more accurately called Uttan Prishthasana, it seemed fair to go in that direction. That pose isn't clear here, but I did give the design itself colors and separations to reference that 80s yoga or workout vibe from the design. And so, here is Yogeq, the acrobatic Pokemon. Yogex are extremely agile and have a keen observation that allows them to predict any attack it may face. They are always prepared with orbs of water to use in any combat scenario as both attacks or distractions. The shiny changes the look completely, giving it the purple to hint at its future typing, which I decided would be water psychic. The hair-like appendages do give it an axolotl look, which was unintentional, but necessary as it's needed to set up a key aspect of the final evolution. Gecko Voyant. Now taking the proper lizard pose, another aspect is added, that being fortune-telling. In Hindu culture, lizards have a lot of symbolism based on who you ask. They are sometimes a sign of good luck, but if they touch you, they bring bad luck. Every time they make a noise, it's said that they affirm someone's arguments as the truth. I took all of these and fused them together to give us the fortune teller, because regardless of whose thought process you align with, lizards are intertwined with fortune. To drive home that fact, I also turned one of those orbs of water into a glass orb for the yogic fortune teller to look into. Also, the designs take a lot more from Komodo dragons, which are native to Komodo Island, which fits Gen 10's Indonesia region. And so, altogether, I present to you Geckovoyant, the clairvoyant Pokemon. Geckovoyant are able to look into the future to see what fortune awaits for other people and Pokemon. It is said that the psychic touch of a Geckovoyant has the power to alter the fortune of anyone for good or bad. The shiny maintains that purple, only getting a tad darker. As for a few more key design details, the long hair is meant to resemble the more stock appearance of a fortune teller or psychic, and the bindi-like water symbol on gecqua's forehead does indeed become a third eye. But now, you may be asking, what is the theme behind all of this? Like, what does a British folktale, a Japanese historic story, and Indian superstition and yoga have in common? And well, it's actually pretty neat. For my predictions, I mostly wanted to explore unexplored routes, but there is a unifying theme. As a complete contrast to the theme of Paldea, which was Spanish culture and its influence worldwide, I predict Gen 10 will have the opposite, and have the theme of the world's influence on Indonesia. Hence why I picked British, Japanese, and Indian, as all three cultures have either occupied or influenced Indonesia in some way. It would also be very fitting as the theme for the 10th generation of a game franchise like Pokemon that is literally built on cultural influence. But well, that's what I think, and I may be wrong and you may disagree with me. So let me know what you think will be the Generation 10 Starter Evolution concepts and theme down below in the comments. While there, like, subscribe, and hype the video if you can. And with that said, that is gonna be it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed. I have been the Lava Tyrant, and I will catch you guys next time. Till then, peace.